That's shot. That's it. Look at all that room for activities. Once you get the nuts off the hub assembly, you can slide it out far enough to get at the cotter pin. Once the cotter pin's removed, you basically just have an axle nut that sets the preload on the taper bearings. Okay, got the cab rolled ahead on our Case 1840 skid steer here, and I was originally going to just rebuild the hub assembly that had lost the bearings and then maybe reset the preload on the other 3 hub assemblies and adjust the chains, and I'd have it back the same weekend. But then I got to thinking about the wheel locks over here. This one's on the left side. And if you can see that, right down in there, that pin engages with the cogs on the sprocket and disengages when you pull on this cable that is attached to the bar here. It is a parking lock safety. But when we come over here to the one on the right side, that one not so much worky. I have no scientific proof for this theory, but I'm assuming it was in the fall, the soybeans were needing to come off, the silage was needing to get chopped, one of the 5 barns needed cleaned out, and Dad was having a bad day. I know it wasn't my fault because this has been broken for more years than I can remember. On this wheel lock assembly that isn't broken, the welds are starting to crack, and that's eventually going to come right off of there. And even though I am a fan of Bob Seger, I really don't want this thing to roll me away. So we're going to pull the hubs off, maybe pull the sprockets out, and then I can get through there and re-weld the locks. Am I the only one that thinks this skid loader looks kind of upset that it didn't die with his men in Vietnam? And then maybe comes back later in the movie to try it at sea legs? Maybe it's just me. Since the park lock assembly on the right side was wonkier than Evel Knievel's spine, I decided to just grind what was left of the welds off of the tube so I could remove it from the skid loader itself. I got a new piece of bushing stock, punched a hole out of a new plate of steel. Then, after some non-symmetrical bend work, I'm ready to use the metal hot gluing gun to stick everything together. The welds aren't the prettiest because I was boiling a lot of oil and other contaminants out. Plus I was having to weld with my left hand in a very goofy fashion, pushing the wrong direction. I am not left-handed. I thought I was going to have to make all the parts for the park lock, but I found them all laying in the bottom of the chain case. I'm draining it. I got to wipe it all out, get all the slag out of there from welding, and then I can start reassembling. I got this side welded up, put triangles on. There's a spring, and here's the slug. That's your park lock that engages with the gear here. I ended up rebuilding all 4 of the wheel hubs. I wouldn't have had to, but after 30 years of wires and baler twine and rashy vines getting wrapped around in here destroying the seals, I figured I might as well. And the only way to replace this seal is to press the shaft out of the housing and then pull the bearings off of the shaft. I was supposed to catch that. Install the new taper bearings into the housing that are basically the same idea as an old wheel bearing, and then you just smack a new seal in the backside and press the shaft back into place and you're ready to go. Believe it or not, I was trying to figure out a way to use the skid loader to lift its own cab off so I had a little bit more room, but it actually wasn't too bad working on it. Got the hubs on, the preload on the bearings set, the chains adjusted, got the chain cases rinsed out and cleaned up, and we're ready to go. Alright, since I got her done, I'm going to go wash all the crap out of it. Now, before you comment section keyboard technicians say I was being unsafe, I had vice grips holding this cab from sliding back and crushing me to death. So, meh. These are your controls for each individual hydrostat pump and motor. And the hard part was remembering that back was forward and forward was back. I didn't get the old girl as clean as what I wanted to because my pressure washer was turning into a pressure icicle machine and it was freezing all the dirt into place before I could get it off of there. You know, even with all this ice in the back window, you still have more visibility than a sound guard.